When I first moved into my home, I was most proud of being a homeowner because I am the first of my mom's children to own a home. My mom's never owned a home, so yeah, I was really proud about that, having a home that I could possibly, pass down to my children. Owning a home has impacted us greatly because we're able to have more space, something we can call ours, we can customize, so we could do all the fun things we want to here. My favorite memory here would be like our paint parties, just having family over, yeah.
The history of Trinity Park started with a donation of land. I think it was around like 6 or 7 acres. What was really exciting is that we could take this one piece of land and do our first planned development. Maybe we were able to do 4 or 5 houses in one place, but not 38. And we thought, okay, here's a great opportunity to be a part of something on a national scale that we can bring home to Memphis. And so we ended up being the first city for Builders Blitz nationally. So we had our corporate executives and our CEO from Habitat International come to Memphis and kind of creating a spectacle. And it gives us an opportunity to talk about our work in a different way and to bring people in as a part of all of the excitement. We're excited, they see it, they feel it, and they want to be a part of it. So the Somerset Apartments, before we started Trinity Park, some of them were still intact, others were already falling down around them. And we knew it was going to be a challenge because we had to drive past these units every day, but all along we knew that we needed to see them come down. And so from the very beginning, even as we're building 38 units, there was advocacy around taking the apartments down and cleaning it up, and what was that going to ultimately look like.
Sometimes I do have safety concerns when we're inside the house because we're just in this corner and it's dark with these apartments right here. I don't walk through the neighborhood anymore because of the stray animals. People would drive in trucks and just dump mattresses, dump furniture, the fires to cars. That has been a frequent thing going on in the apartments. Vehicles being burned down every single day, looking out the window to see if my car's still in the driveway. So because of the people hiding stolen cars in these apartments.
The worst part of this completely was how it was impacting the Habitat homeowners and their kids and their community. We know that a person's zip code is one of the most significant drivers of health. And blight and abandoned buildings and vacancies are all part of this large compounding effect for the residents and the families who live here in Trinity Park. It also has a multiplier effect on the city. It's not just Habitat home buyers, it's our whole city.
Yeah, so blighted property has a number of impacts. So there's definitely a crime impact. The way I'd like to think about it is on the economic side, immediately, studies have shown that for every one abandoned property, you're looking at a negative impact of about $7,500 for each property, and then that compounds when you have a lot of properties in the same area. You put $80,000, $90,000, $100,000 into that house to make it livable for someone. The systemic devaluation of property in that area only makes that house worth, $40,000, $50,000 less than what you put into it.
Sometimes people say that blight in a community can create blight of the spirit. And that is not what we want our homeowners to feel. We want them to build wealth and security and be inspired through home ownership. And for all these years, the blight has just sort of chipped away at that. And so what we're looking for is an opportunity for them to be sort of delivered from all of this blight so that they can live out their lives without looking at it and feeling, downtrodden, forgotten, left behind. And so we carry that weight as the organization, feeling some responsibility. We did choose the site, and we knew that the blight was there. And so we did it with the hopes that we, under Habitat's name and with our great relationships, would have the ability to see this move faster. So whenever it comes down, it will be a huge day of celebration and a lot of relief for our families.
I think the biggest thing I wish people understood, and to be honest, this is true for a lot of things right now, right? No one is going to do this for you, right? No one is coming to save that blighted property. People need to understand that communities are the only way that things happen in this city, right? We need to push, and groups like the Trinity Homeowners Association need to continue. So it takes vision, it takes courage, and it ultimately takes unity. It takes people coming together and saying, we want to feed ourselves, we want our community to be what it is, we need to come together and solve that problem ourselves.
I want to say thank you all so much for your partnership on this important mission for our city.
So my feeling at the press conference, as we were looking at them starting to bring down the buildings at Somerset, was pure delight, especially for the families. So as soon as I got there, I saw the families, we embraced, and they said thank you to me, and I said thank you to them, because they were standing up for themselves, they were advocating for themselves, they were showing up and speaking up. And that's the power that we have when we work together this way.
Blight is such a significant barrier to growth in communities. And when I say growth, I don't just mean physical growth. I mean the growth of the individuals in the community. When you walk past structures that have been vacant and blighted literally all your life, there are 15-year-olds that know nothing of this site but the way it looks today. What message does it send to them about who they are, what their neighborhood means? And I often say that if it looks like no one cares, people behave as such.
The Trinity Park Neighborhood Association members sending me pictures to my email of like, hey, this is what I see from my front door. It's jarring, and it actually humanizes a very complex problem, but it gives you someone to advocate for. So it's no longer just a property that are lawyers on the other side of. These are people who are depending on me in order to fix a problem. These are the people who I'm doing this for. These are the people that I'm speaking on the behalf of, and I have to make this work for them.
I would love to see some more Habitat homes right there. We'd be jealous that some houses would be on the lake, but it would still be, I would still love to see that for families and for our neighborhood.
Well, I think the ultimate message is hope, that there's hope for a brighter future for this site, for communities, for people in communities. It warms my heart to know that all of the bureaucratic processes and legal things we have to go through to get to a day like this, there are people on the other side. And I'm deeply committed to making sure that we're doing more, that we get more projects just like this where we're able to change lives.
When anybody thinks about home, they are probably going to consider a space that is safe and secure and comfortable. And so what I want for our families is the opportunity to feel like every mortgage payment is an investment in themselves and in their families, and that they are not going to lose value in their homes because of the blight that surrounds them. And I think this is a new day, we're moving to a new place. I think that everyone deserves the opportunity to say that my home is safe, it's secure, that it has value. And that's what we want for our families as well as everyone in Memphis.